Welcome back to the channel, everybody. It's Mark from Cricket Bat Info, and today we're going to be doing a review on this GM Eclipse 808. So the story of this bat is I did my COVID purchase like probably a lot of you have. Bored without cricket, you want to buy a cricket bat. Yeah, this is my purchase. So why did I purchase this? I just wanted something different. Truth be told is there's a review that you've never seen, which was a GM Flare. It came in, I filmed it, sent it back to the owner, and checked my main camera footage, and it wasn't there. So yeah, you never got to see it. But I did like the traditional sort of full shape of the GM Flare, and that sort of influenced me to look at GM and look what they had going. Now, I've already done a review on the GM Diamond. I'll put a link for that up here in the corner. And this bat is a new bat for the 2020 season in the UK. It's very similar to the Diamond because you've got that 540 length blade. Put a measurement up there for that for you. So you can see there 54 centimetres and an overall length of 85, just under 34 inches. So the beauty of a short blade is you get much more bat speed because you've got that weight a little bit further from your hands and you've got a much bigger lever to swing it with. The downside of it, some people just can't get used to a shorter blade because they tend to strangle the neck of a cricket bat. So if you're going to use a short blade, you're going to be sort of batting probably an inch from the actual shoulders. And if you can get used to that, that's good. So this particular bat here, you can see this really big offset. You've got a high middle and probably a mid-high sweet spot for the edge. Maybe mid-high to mid. And there is quite a big distance between those 2 points, maybe an inch. The other thing you get with this bat, which is very traditional, which I'll put a big camera shot there, is you get that nice full shape. So there's no concaving there whatsoever. If I put that on there, you'll see that. So very much like the players' sort of shapes that you see, no concaving. But this is made with normal density willows, so there's not that huge shape you get. The other thing you get with a GM, you're getting that traditional sort of press. They're not going to underpress for size, and they're not going to overdry their bats. So I'll tell you straight away that the dimensions on this bat, I knew what I was getting, and that was a much smaller edge size, and we'll have a look at that straight away. So you've got about 35 millimeters there, 35 and a half. Shoulders are pretty thick, 16 and a half, remembering you do have that short blade. And the toe at the bottom there, you've got 21 mil, and in the center you've got 28. So the face camber there is 4 to 5 millimeters, 4.5. And on this side, pushing that up, you can see there that gets quite high on the blade. And it's sacrificing probably about 5 millimeters, 4 to 5 millimeters in the center. So it's just over 62 millimeters on that spine, which is quite healthy for a regular size bat. This is the 808 style. So they call this I guess their superior grade 2 willow. Now the pictures on their book of cricket would have you believe you're getting something equivalent almost every time of an LE bat with more heartwood. Obviously that's not the case this time. What we've got here is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 grains. Maybe a tiny bit of a sixth here. Not evenly spaced, and there's a slight bit of a wobble there, but there's absolutely no blemishes on the face. So you've got no speck, you've got no knots, you've got nothing like that. I would say there's something to do with the playability of the bat too, which is the reason they've called this one their superior grade 2. Back of the bat, it's just as clean. Tiny little pin knot there, nothing on the edges. So it's a pretty clean bat. There's no heartwood or anything like that. But a lot of you who are grain snobs will just look at that and go, no, I'm having nothing to do with that. Let's look at the stickers while we've got it out. We've got this orange to burnt orange to black detailing. The stickers now come with a clear surround. In fact, if you look at the GM icon stickers they're doing now, they're fully clear. So they'd sticker over the top of the scuff sheet. These come pre-prepared with their GM now. And you've got some texturing in all the stickers. It says GM DXM. And you've got clips there, 540 blade length. And something written at the top there. And England's best down the bottom. So I actually like the bat, to be honest. This one classifies as one of their 5-star bats, which all the 5-star bats from 808 up get a pickup index. So that's that. This says pickup index of 2, which is supposed to be pretty good. I was hoping to get a bat somewhere in the 2.9 range. We will have a look at what this actually feels like. Let's talk about the handle, because this has this new GM hex grip. So the hex grip has this texturing of little dimples that raise and lower in a hexagonal pattern, and it gives the bat really impressive grip. It feels absolutely awful to the bare hand. You can really feel that digging into you, and if you put your dig it in, you can see the marks it leaves on your hand straight away. So it's going to really tear up those soft leather petards if you've got those. It's not actually my preferred grip. I actually like the GM Terrain now. I've moved on from the old GM shock absorber. But look, it's in black, so to me that's cool. A bit bored with white grips, getting dirty almost immediately. I'd say the handle on this, it doesn't have that really thick, roundish almost feel to it. This one is a proper semi-oval, and it's not too thick. If I took this grip off, put a substitute with a different grip, this would feel really nice and not too thick. And the top hand is probably a medium thickness, and it's more towards the round feel. So I do actually like the feel of the handle on this. It feels much better with gloves on. One thing you can say about GM, they put a lot of attention into being consistent with their finish. Remember what I say about GM for a few reviews in the future. So it's nice and clean, there's good polishing on it. Looks nice on the front, get a nice built-in toe guard with it, which they fit, and they even pay attention to how they cut or how they trim the scuff sheet is all done perfectly. So well done to them as far as this bat's concerned. As far as those bubbles, I did press these down, but sometimes you do have to just rub it in a bit. You get this sort of look to it, and I reckon the GM Icon series would have a lot of that too. So I've got rid of my holder, and we will do the weight. So I did ask for around 2.9. This obviously came from England. Let me tell you what it feels like. So with that shorter handle, and I'm waving it around off camera, I would feel that I'm picking up maybe a 2.9.5 to 2.10. So that's how it feels to me in my hands. The pickup speed is actually quite good on the up. It does feel like it's got decent pickup speed. So, and we'll weigh the bat. I know what it was when it came in, and it says 210.8. So it's picking up way lighter than that. In fact, it was 210.4. I have had it in the shed for a couple of days waiting to review it in its cover, and being out here, it's just acclimatized because it's a little bit wet outside. So I would say this will drop back to 10.4 again. Played in bat. So sometimes I do this, sometimes I don't now. That's the GM Ultimate. And generally what I do is I get my LV mallet and I slowly tap this up. Now I've moved back to my old camera, which I'm watching on the side, just because I've got the preview on it. And we'll start at the toe. You see there right off that blemish, it's insane ping. So blemishes are not a bad thing on bats. So we'll move to the GM Eclipse, and after I tap this up, I'll give you my thoughts. Starting at the toe. So already in the playing area, and it's starting to go really well there in that mid position. There's still a little bit there in the mid-low, and yeah, it's going really well from a high insane at a mid, which is where that offset of the edge is. Really good there and good off centre. And there's a little bit there at the toe, but it's more up here. So what do I think about this bat? I think it's actually pinging quite well, and it definitely needs to be knocked at the toe. It just feels a little bit hard down here. There's not a lot of wood down there, so I'm not expecting it to have a huge amount of ping in that mid-low to low area. This is a bat for somebody who plays as late as possible under their eyes. So they're playing on the up. So they're looking for their cut shots, their pull shots, playing on the up with their drives, glancing, flicking, punching, but not really coming onto the front foot. Good bat for somebody who plays a lot on hard wicket, where you get that extra bounce, that predictable bounce. And because of that full profile, you're going to have a really nice wide middle as well. And because you've got that middle position up, you've got some good bat speed, so you can adjust for the fact that you're playing later. So the shape is perfect for the type of play it's designed. So somebody who's perhaps an opener who doesn't come onto the front foot, waits and plays the long game in their innings, more of a nudger. But you know, there's plenty of meat there. If you do hit it right out of the screws in the middle, the ball's absolutely going to go. So it's got a nice, decent sized middle right there. And I think, regardless of the grains, it's actually got quite a good punch to it. But I don't think this is bad willow. As far as the grains going through, they're not perfectly straight through the back here. They're a bit wobbly. And it does raise a debate as to what's actually happening with GM about their grading. Is this something that should be in the 707s? Why is it up in the 808s? Has something gone wrong with this? Is it a misgrade? I'd love to hear your comments, and please place them in the video about what's happening with GM. I don't personally have an issue with it, because to me it's how it feels and how it plays. Looks are not really a big deal for me. And the other thing is, for me, as purchasing in the UK, you're going to be playing somewhere in the vicinity of $450 to land it here in Australia, if you don't get the sales. Whereas in Australia, an 808 is going to cost you somewhere between $550 and $600. So, you know, is it a $550 to $600 bat? Yeah, you'd be a bit disappointed, I reckon. You know, but they graded it. They know more than we do. Is it $100 less than that bat, which is $700 retail? Yeah, I don't like to compare, but I'll put a GM grip on that one, by the way. That's the terrain grip. So question of the week this week comes from Cricket Maniacs, who commented on one of the videos. Great review, mate. One thing I wanted to know is, how long does a pro bat last? I've heard good bats last 6 to 8 months. I'd say that generally those low density clefts that they tend to use, which give them that much fuller shape, there's less structure in them. They're more there for instant ping, for performance. They're not there for durability. So that's why they get a few of them. The other thing is they're facing much faster bowling with those hard dude balls. So if they got 6 to 8 months of continued use out of a pro bat, then I think that's pretty awesome. If you took your regular off-the-shelf bat out to those pro matches and you're facing down Tate or Brett Lee or Bumrah or somebody like that on a consistent basis, and you get hits in the toe and all this type of thing, of course that's not going to last as long. So yeah, that's my general opinion. 6 to 8 months would be pretty good. 6 to 8 months on the circuit, I think, would be great. I actually doubt some of them would get that much out of some of those bats, and I'd say there'd be a lot of repairs, ongoing maintenance with those bats. So yeah, that's my general opinion. That's the question of the week. And if you want to have your question featured in a future review, put it in the comments below the video. And I'm still trying to stick with a review every week, but things are slowing down, obviously. People are not playing, they're not thinking about cricket, and the bats just aren't coming in at the moment. But I'll still be here, and I look forward to speaking to you in the next review. Thanks very much, everybody. GM Eclipse.